Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of In the Discussion. I am Bo Tony, and the other host is John. What it do? What it do? This week
Not
we. Oh, go ahead.
other than not much. I got to come up with that secondary nickname. It's starting to look a little crazy right now, but
We need an AKA still, man. We waiting for your nickname.
it's coming. It's coming.
It's coming sooner. All right. We are missing our other host Jakari this week. Just send out his prayers. He's going through some things right now, and he'll probably be back next week. But until then, we're holding it down for Jakari. Um, so we we'll get right into your team, John, the Cleveland Browns. All right.
The
Um,
best team in the country, the Cleveland Browns. The biggest fan base, the Cleveland Browns. The best sellout away team ever, the Cleveland Browns.
the Cleveland stinking Browns. Okay, let's let's get into it.
Mm.
So this past weekend, when we was going through our predictions and stuff, you swore up and down that the Browns were gonna have the Bengals number once again. Finally, Joe Burrow and them got a win against the Browns. They're like 1-5 against y'all now. But Baker Mayfield was able to get it done. Jacoby Brissett was able to get it done. So I'm just wondering, why couldn't Deshaun Watson get it done? Why couldn't he get it done?
Well, I'll break it down in two phases. One, the Bengals are eight. We're 8-10, or yeah, we're 8-10 against the Bengals because they haven't won in forever. Two, Deshaun Watson didn't play bad. Didn't play great. Didn't play bad. He was 26 for 42, 276, one touchdown, one pick. Those aren't horrible numbers. The first half, it was real close. And I'm going to say this. The tide turned when we had a roughing the kicker on like 4th and 19 or whatever it was inside the 20-yard line. I think it was like the 17. The kick actually took place around the 11. I, I don't understand why you have a punt block on in that situation when one of the dumbest people I've ever seen before in my life cross body blocked a punter. It was like technically the wrong thing to do. You don't block from down the middle. You block from an angle 2 yards in front of the kicker. That's coaching. That's a horrible coaching. And let's get to Jamar Chase. Let's go ahead and get to it. Jamar Chase did not cook up Denzel Ward. I said it. He only beat him one time, but I'm not even going to give him that touchdown because nobody thought that pass was going to get there. Jamar didn't think that pass was coming. But Joe Burrow, that was a beautiful pass. But every time you see Jamar Chase running free, or for matter of fact of that, every receiver running free was because they were in the slot, and John Johnson III had to pick them up, and they were just cooking this dude. I
Indeed.
don't understand. I don't understand how he's still in the NFL. He is that bad, but he's the first dude in front of the press talking about how bad coaching is. But you the dude getting cooked.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to disagree a little bit with the Jamar Chase statement. Coming into this game, big chip on their shoulder. You know, off-season talk. Jamar Chase had it against Greg Newsome, not saying he wasn't elite, saying this and that, whatever. Big chip on their shoulder coming into this game, and for him, come out and grab 10 receptions and 119 yards. Pretty impressive to me. I mean,
Oh no no.
Denzel has had his number in the past, but Jamar Chase definitely came to play. But I agree with that touchdown that you say. Um, it was just absolute gorgeous pass by Joe Burrow. Perfect timing. I mean, he did beat Denzel, like, but Joe Burrow put it in the perfect position for him to score that touchdown. And as much as you could give credit to Jamar, you have to give that to Joe Burrow. He put that exactly where he needed to.
Oh, I'm gonna say it was all Joe Burrow because there's no way Jamar was looking for that ball. There was zero way. Also, if you look at that play, Denzel pulls off because John Johnson's coming in as a crosser, so he pulls up. Once again, John Johnson III being the problem in the secondary. Like most of the stuff that Jamar was getting off on, it was a cushion called by Joe Woods. Which again, Jamar Chase likes catching jet screens, 5 yard out, and just burning dudes after the catch. Why not jam him? That one time, that deep ball that we got the pass interference play on, Denzel had him. Denzel has this problem. He's had this whole problem since he's been here. He will have coverage. The guy's not going to catch the ball, but he gets real handsy right at the point of the ball going over his head. I don't know why you touching him. You got him. But yeah, he wants to do a little tug as soon as the ball goes over. And for some reason, my phone's going off now, so that's awesome. I thought I had it on D&D. But most of those things, they would slide him in. He'd be in the slot. You also have a defensive coordinator who, Tyler Boyd's out. You got T. Higgins out. So why don't you roll coverage on Jamar Chase? Denzel doesn't travel. I don't know why they don't let him travel. So why don't you roll coverage? You can put Newsome as the 2, following him around. But he refused to do it.
That's a good question. I did see Emerson get smoked one play, but I mean it was a flea flicker, so I mean I guess it's a little tricky play, but yeah.
I'll give you one play. You can have all the one plays, but for the most part, this was a bad coaching thing. I don't know why you go soft cushion press, not zone coverage against the Bengals.
Right.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, we all know that this Browns defense does have the talent, but unfortunately, they don't have the coach to put out the right plays for them, put out the right zones for them to succeed, and that has been the downfall of your team this year. Sucks to see, but hopefully y'all can get rid of him.
Hopefully we will.
Hopefully y'all can get rid of him. I know before the season, you wasn't really big on David Njoku. I know that he had your only touchdown this past Sunday. How do you feel about him now?
I think he's playing better. I'm still not 100% sold on him getting, what, $14, $15 million a year? And it's all, well, one, he requested a trade.
Oh, he did. When was this?
Yeah. This was off season. Before he got that deal. It was like right before he got that deal. He was like, I want to trade. I was like, I get it. I don't want to catch stuff from Baker Mayfield either. I want to get out of here. But if you request it, in my eyes, if you want to go, go. 2, his problem at this level, he's not the best receiver I've ever seen. He's better than apparently Harrison Bryant, so we got to deal with him. His focus in catching the ball is problematic. For a guy built like that, he doesn't catch well with his hands. He always tries to pull it into his body. And you can't do that at this level. It just doesn't work. You've got to be able to catch with your hands, bring it in. And he's kind of awkward a little bit physically. If you ever watch him try to catch and run at the same time, it's a thing. It's a thing to watch, yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I'm kind of impressed with his performance this year. He does, like you said, have some problems bringing in the ball sometimes. But overall, he's really athletic, got the speed, and he can make plays. He's a playmaker if he gets targeted. As you can see during the Bucks game, he made the game-winning catch with one hand. It was amazing. Or made the game-tying catch, I should say. But, yeah, enough of David Njoku. I want to get back into this game because man, I just want to say it. I told you so.
Here we go. Here we go. You know, Amari Cooper was hurt in practice. The moment I heard that, I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be nasty."
Yeah,
I, I still say if they would have just had Denzel Ward travel, but let me not take away from what happened in this game. Their defensive line was punching Cleveland in the mouth all day long. It was frightening.
right.
I have never seen people just push Wyatt Teller and Joe Bitonio back for 3 seasons. I've never seen anybody manhandle him like that. And I give all credit to their defensive line shutting Nick Chubb down, which Nick Chubb is starting to. I get it. We're on our fourth string center currently,
Yeah,
but it's. I'm not taking anything away from the play of the defensive line. It's impressive. They were just pushing the guys back. It was a sight to behold. I'll be honest with you with that.
yeah. Going into this game, you wouldn't think, oh, the Bengals will be able to contain Nick Chubb the way that they did. Uh, so kudos to the Bengals defense. They stepped up this game, and you got to give them their flowers for that.
Oh yeah.
Um, Joe Burrow, he did what he had to do. Um, Jamar Chase, of course, and then one thing y'all been lacking in is rush defense, and Joe Mixon was able to pick up 96 yards on the ground. Um, so it's just been the same type of things for your defense. Soft coverage, can't stop the run, and we'll see next year if you're able to get a new defense coordinator or even able to get some more players like some D tackles and stuff to run because it's been the same stuff all freaking year. Deshaun Watson, like you said, he didn't have a bad game. Threw for 276, a touchdown and a pick. I gotta say though, that pick was outrageous. It was a Stevie Wonder to the Bengals defense. It was that pick was insane. But I'm still on the fence. No, I'm not even on the fence with Deshaun Watson. I know he will get back to that,
Hang
top
on.
10 college quarterback play. The man's phone is blowing up right now.
Okay, let's get back to it. Yeah, you're right, 100%. And I will defend that interception after watching the all 22. I will defend the interception.
What did you?
The
What did you?
safety. It was supposed to be a deep corner route with a crossing underneath. The crosser underneath was supposed to pull the safety. The safety actually did not bite on it.
And read the corner route.
He, if Deshaun would have threw it earlier, he had him. His eye discipline isn't there yet, and the safety just read his eyes. He wasn't looking at the crosser. He never came off that deep corner route, and he just beat him to it.
So he didn't sell the crosser, and
Mm-mm.
pretty much safety baited him. Pretty much.
Yep. And this is a guy you can fool with looking him off. He is trying to jump every route. You can eat his shorts if you just look him off. But again, 700 days.
Yeah,
This rust is real.
yeah. He has to get into the groove of things for sure. Didn't play bad, but I was impressed with some of the throws he was making. There was a throw that me and you seen. He's getting sacked. He's getting tackled, and he just is still able to let the ball go. And I think he completed that pass, right?
Yeah, he threw like this dart with this dude draped over his leg. It's giving me hope. I'll see this week. If he plays better this week, I'm gonna feel great about next year.
Right.
I
And
got to see the improvement. That's all I'm looking for. Is just the improvement.
I know Amari Cooper was hurt, but or he was hurt in practice or whatever you were saying. But someone else stepped up, Donovan Peoples-Jones. He's been looking pretty good this whole year. I didn't know if his role would be as big as it's been coming into the year, but I can say I'm impressed with what he's doing. And this week he had 8 receptions, 114 yards. So DPJ, he might be your number two.
Oh, he's the true number two. They've been talking about him in camp since his rookie season. Like, wow, he's flashing. He's flashing. And then rookie season, during the year, training camp after that. Oh my God, DPJ's coming out of nowhere. He's flashing. He's flashing. Don't know about that. This year, I think he finally put it together. His issue to me is the same issue I had with David Njoku. His focus when he's catching the easy ball drops. Like if you hit him square in his chest, he's already thinking about the run. Where do I need to move? He'll drop a pass. That was my problem with David Njoku last year before last. Like these impossible behind the back stuff. Oh, he can make it all day. And that, to me, that's focus. At this level, it's not like you don't know how to catch. It's just focus. And I think Donovan finally put it together.
Yeah.
And looks like David has too. So it's. I didn't think I would say this. And I fought saying this all season. Oh, we need a burner. We need a legit burner. Because if Amari Cooper's off for a little something's wrong with him running routes, we're in trouble.
I'll say this. Y'all do have a burner. The kid can't fucking run routes, though.
Oh, Schwartz? Well, Schwartz can't catch either.
That dude is fast as hell, but that's about it.
You see that? You showed me that video where he got beat up by the pads he had to run that thing through. That was hilarious. Yeah, that's him. That's him.
He's struggling for sure. All right, well, we're gonna go ahead and get into this next topic. This past weekend we had a vet versus a rookie.
Ooh.
We had a mystery irrelevant versus a GOAT. And I think it's time to take off the nickname of Mr. Irrelevant because this guy is for real. And that is Brock Purdy, the 49ers starting quarterback. He's blossoming into this position. And I didn't think that he would look this good, but he looks pretty darn good, pretty darn sharp in this role. I mean, time and time again, the Shanahan system produces good quarterbacks, no matter what quarterback it is. So it's sort of that thing. Is it him? Is it Brock Purdy? Or is it the system? We all know it's a little bit of both, I guess.
Did you just say he looked pretty good? Really? You went for that? You know you're in the shot, right?
He looks pretty good in this. I had to throw that in there for sure. But how you feel about Mr. Purdy and the 49ers absolutely dog walking the Buccaneers?
I'm impressed. He was 16 for 21 for 185, 2 touchdowns. He did what he needed to do to win. Which is weird because in Miami, 25-37, 210, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. It's that, I hate saying it, if you're an accurate quarterback and you play in that Shanahan system, you're going to eat. You're just going to eat. That system just does well for quarterbacks. Which makes me wonder, how good is Trey? I'm just wondering. It took him forever to get in that. Brock Purdy just got here, did well.
Hold on now. Let's not forget the only reason Brock Purdy's in this position is because Trey Lance got hurt and Jimmy got hurt. That's why he is playing. He is playing good.
Valid.
But, go ahead.
Why didn't Trey take that job year one?
It's year one.
Wait. Brock Purdy looks good in this system year one.
He did not take, and he also did not take the position from Jimmy G.
My question is, are athletic quarterbacks good in this system?
Well, that is something only time will be able to tell. I don't think Trey Lance looked bad when he was in. He looked pretty
Mm-hmm.
decent to me. But we only got to see like a couple game span, so it's not we don't have much on that, you know. But
Yeah.
like only time will tell. I mean, I think he'll be fine in this system.
I
I don't know
hope
about
because Deshaun Watson's in the same system, so I'm scared.
yeah, maybe the Shanahan system just likes super accurate quarterbacks that stay in the pocket that don't roll out. I don't know. I have faith in Trey Lance because of his arm talent and his mobility and all that, and
Mm-hmm.
able to hit people on the run. But who knows if that will translate into this 49 Kyle Hand system that he has going on over there.
And
Um,
also, he's been backed up by he's got a ton of weapons. And this defense has only allowed one, well, actually, no 60-yard rusher in 13 games.
Jesus,
You don't have to do much.
yeah,
Just don't turn it over. Be accurate.
exactly. It's not the same system in Miami, but it's kind of sort of the same thing that they asked from Tua. You don't got to do much. Stay in the pocket, be accurate. And I'll admit it, Brock Purdy was very accurate, very poised in that pocket on Sunday. Some of those passes he was making, he was getting absolutely pressured by the Buccaneers defense, but he was still putting it on the money. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Passes he was making super accurate, like you said, 16 for 21. Bro had two tutties and a rushing touchdown too. Um, 92 QBR and 134 rating. So Brock Purdy might be the
Pretty good.
MVP. Might be pretty good.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
He runs the table, makes a run in the playoffs. Not saying going to the NFC title game, but makes a run, looks good.
So okay.
Do you keep him? I think he's on a 1 year deal. Do you keep him? Is it his team going into next year?
What do you mean he's on a 1 year deal?
I think he's only got this is his last or
He's a
no no no.
rookie.
If he's a rookie, is it guaranteed? If you're that deep?
I don't know. I thought if he was a rookie, he was automatically signed for a couple years. I thought, but
I think it once you start getting to lower rounds. I don't know if it's the same thing,
yeah.
but say he's there. They make a run. Is there a quarterback competition? Is it Purdy's team?
The only way this is Purdy's team if he gets to the NFC Championship and actually looks good. Like, then I'll say, okay, maybe. Matter of fact, nah. If this is Purdy's team, he would have to get to the Super Bowl. Like, because honestly, you got Trey Lance and you got Jimmy G in front of you. Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
someone's gonna have to go. And I think that will be Jimmy G. I think you keep Purdy still because you're never wrong with having good quarterbacks at your backup position. Anything can happen. Trey Lance could get hurt again, or whoever they keep. Jimmy G could get hurt, and Purdy might have to come back in. But if he looks good, I think the better man should have that position at the beginning of the next season. Can he do it? Not sure. I mean, very accurate right now. Looks pretty good
Mm-hmm.
right now. But this
Mm-hmm.
is only his second game. We don't have a lot of tape on him, so let's see what he does with the rest of this season, and then maybe we can give a better take with that. I'm not sure. But hey, if he looks good for the rest of the season, why not make it a QB challenge? Like, why not?
You know Jimmy is not coming back, right?
Yeah, I didn't think Jimmy would be coming back.
That was part of the deal from the redo. They couldn't franchise tag him, and he'd be straight free to go. So Jimmy's definitely not coming back.
Okay, so it's gonna be a Trey Lance versus Purdy situation, pretty much.
I'm a hey, I'm all for Purdy getting that dub.
Hey, I'm with you because the man looking pretty good right now. So hey, Shouts out to that man. On to the other side of the ball, Tampa Bay. They just not looking too good right now. Tom not looking too good. In this game, the 49ers just absolutely put it on them. Like Tom just didn't look good at all, and starting to kind of feel bad for Tom Brady because of this reason. It is hilarious. Like after every loss, after every pick he throws, he has to sit there post game and sign fucking balls for the defenders. They come up there, oh, you're the GOAT, man. Can you please sign this ball? And it's just so sad watching Tom sign these balls while they're just taking L's. But it's funny, but it's also sad at the same time. Um, can the Bucks turn it around? You know they are in a terrible division, so they most likely will make the playoffs. But when they make it to the playoffs, will they be able to do anything, or are they just a first round exit?
The way they played, the fact that Cleveland beat them lets me know they're a first round exit. The fact that they were kind of working Cleveland on the ground against the worst run defense in the country historically. Worst. Historically. And they refused to keep running the ball. I think they're going to get that hosted first game of the playoffs and get blown up by whomever.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom Brady might be. I don't think he's going to retire. I don't think his ego's going to let him retire on this kind of sour note.
Yeah, that that would indeed be a shocker if he does retire. But I mean, it's damn near time. Bro is getting very old. He's 45 years old. Not a lot of people that can do that, but kudos to Tom. Um,
Speaking of Tom Brady, did you hear that report that came out about him?
what was that?
About Well, there's a report that Tom Brady supposedly will hold meetings the night before the game, change coverages, change the game plan, makes little tweaks to assignments without having the coaching staff being made aware. If this is true, makes sense why Bill wanted to get rid of him. It makes sense why Bruce Arians had to quit. Well, I remember those press conferences. Bruce Arians likes being honest, and he's angry. And that's why he had to go up in the front office, because he couldn't deal with Tom Brady anymore. This makes sense if he's changing the game plan, which also makes sense that he couldn't do it a lot with Bruce Arians because Bruce Arians wouldn't have it. But
Right.
Todd Bowles is a real quiet guy. This is his first head coaching job in a while. He's not going to say anything. And you're finding out all this stuff's going on. But again, going back to the Browns game, that makes sense. The game plan should have been, let's just run it down the Browns' throat, as we will see Saturday when the Ravens run it down the Browns' throat. They threw like 40 plus times against the Browns.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to let Myles Garrett get 40 shots at you. Are you nuts?
Yeah, that report is absolutely absurd. But I mean, it does make sense. It is Tom Brady. If there's anybody in the league that's able to go behind the coach's back and make adjustments before the games, it's Tom Brady.
But you got to tell the coaches, dude. You can't.
I was gonna say it's a fucked up thing to do to your coaches, but it makes sense. It's Tom Brady, and like you said, like it would make a lot of sense because of that Browns game. Like they were really good on the run in the first couple quarters, the first two quarters, and then it just disappeared. They just stopped running. So maybe Tom is chasing stats. Maybe I don't know what's going on over there. That is absolutely hilarious and messed up at the same time. Um,
True.
And like you said, that's probably maybe that's why Bill got rid of him. Maybe that's why BA wanted to leave and not be a head coach anymore. Um, but I thought that when Tom came into town, that they let him, you know, do what he wanted anyways. Like as far as like playbooks and game plans.
There's a difference between going, all right, I like these plays, we should run these concepts, versus, all right, we've got this game plan, these concepts we've been putting together all week. All right, man, throw all that away. Hey, throw that away. This it's Friday night. We're not gonna talk to nobody about it. This is what we're running. Period.
Right.
Then all of a sudden, the coaches are going, what are you doing? How am I supposed to adjust if it's working or not working when I don't even know what we're doing?
Yeah, that is pretty. That's insane.
But that's just me, and I would not stand for it. But Todd Bowles probably will not get another head coaching shot other than this,
Right.
so he's not going to make waves. But I can promise you, Bruce Arians is somewhere having a near heart attack over this.
As he should, because that is absolutely shouldn't be acceptable for anybody. Shouldn't be going behind coach's back making adjustments to the game plan. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it's Tom Brady, so that doesn't surprise me at all. Uh, Tom Brady has been bad and been bad this whole season, but it's time to get into a good quarterback. That is Jalen Hurts. So
Yes.
a couple days ago, Michael Parsons was on Von Miller's podcast, and he has some choice words for Jalen Hurts, and he asked Von Miller, is it the team that's playing really good, or is it Jalen Hurts? Because you know Jalen Hurts has been in the MVP talks. Micah Parsons is pretty much saying, not really giving him the credit for him being in that talk. He's giving it to the team. How do you feel about that? Do you think he is right for that statement?
No, that's bitter saltiness for no reason. One, haven't the Cowboys and Eagles played one time this year?
They have. They did.
And who won that game?
Yeah, the Eagles did.
My thing with him, I find it hilarious. And arguably, with that game, he only went 15 for 25, 155, two touchdowns, only ran for 27. But the Eagles were up 20-3 at the half.
Mm.
But the same thing can be said about his quarterback. Is it the system? Is it the rest of that talent around the Cowboys?
Yeah, that is
But
true.
but Jalen Hurts has been dealing. If you've watched any of this guy play, he's dropping dimes in tight coverages, making the correct read all the time. He's not overplaying the position. He's doing what he needs to do to win games. Unlike a Dallas quarterback. There's a Dallas quarterback doing what he needs to do to get a lot of gaudy numbers.
Yeah. I agree with you. I think Parsons a little salty. I mean that they are in their division, so I guess he is throwing a little salt on Jalen Hurts' name since he's in MVP talk. But I'm not agreeing with him 100%. I kind of agree with him. Like as far as that the team is playing good, he is surrounded by talent for sure, but he's wrong in giving all the credit to the team being good. Like Jalen Hurts has been nothing but phenomenal this year, and
Mm-hmm.
then besides passing, he's able to do it on the run with his legs. 10 touchdowns for back-to-back seasons. That is very impressive. But he's also doing really well in this system, doing really well getting the ball to Devontae Smith, to AJ Brown, to Dallas Goddard, to Quez Watkins, and he's doing it at a high level. And another thing is he's not turning the ball over a lot. So this statement by Michael Parsons is absolutely bitter for sure. Will Jalen Hurts win the MVP? We'll see. He's in the front run though. I I like Patrick Mahomes right now, but I could see a world where Jalen Hurts wins the MVP for sure.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, man, Michael Parsons. That is a funny thing to do. Maybe just trying to get in his head for this upcoming game they have in a couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? But Michael Parsons is hilarious for going on a podcast and doing all that. That is just hilarious.
Hey man, I guess however you need to hype yourself up to lose against the Eagles for the second time, however it works, man.
Okay, we, we shall see for sure. Um, do you have a who's him this week?
Oh, I do. Unfortunately, I do.
Okay, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and get into who's him. This is a segment where we highlight one player's performance that we like from the past weekend on Sunday or Monday, whatever it is, or Thursday. I'm gonna let you take the floor for yours.
As always, my who's him will be on my own criteria. It's not about numbers, not about stats, about what you did. Did you make me feel it? Unfortunately, your numbers made me feel it. Logan Wilson from the Cincinnati Bengals. I hate you so much. He was everywhere. This man has 17 tackles in a singular game.
Okay.
He was just blowing up everything. I've never seen quite a complete performance by one man during a game. He was everywhere.
Logan Wilson is very underrated player for sure.
But he was all the him. He was blowing up plays. He was an irritant when he couldn't get there. And 14 of them were solo tackles.
Jeez Louise.
So, yeah, yeah, he's the guy.
He's him this week. I really like that. Logan Wilson, a very underrated linebacker for the Bengals, and he came to play against the Browns this weekend. My who's him is going to be second-year quarterback Trevor Lawrence, Mr. Sunshine.
Ooh.
Um, he came to play against Tennessee Titans, and the Jags surprisingly won this in pretty high fashion, and it was pretty easy for them, 36-22. It's a pretty disciplined uh, Titans team that I like to say. They just was getting carved up by this guy. 368 passing yards, three passing touchdowns, one rushing touchdown, 71 completion percentage. Trevor Lawrence was out there willing and dealing, and he was able to bring a Jags a win this past Sunday, and it was just a really good thing to say, really good thing to see. Get my words twisted right there, but yeah, Trevor Lawrence, second year quarterback, he's looking good. I'm mad the Jazz got him. I really wish the Jets was able to get him, but whatever. He is him. He will be him for a long time coming. Um, Now you got anything on Trevor Lawrence? Got anything with that?
I'm just happy that Urban Meyer didn't mess that kid up.
Oh yeah, cause
I'm
yeah, last year it was looking pretty ugly when he was under Urban Meyer.
and I'm usually really critical of quarterbacks, and I will always say I'm gonna give him a mulligan for last year because everything that Meyer brings to a team, period, and he still played okay for a rookie under all that nonsense.
Or rookie, yeah.
I'm calling this his true rookie year. I'm going to say that. This is Trevor Lawrence's true rookie year. He's looking good. They're getting more talent around him. He's better coached. I'm curious to see what he's going to be next year. He could be a problem next year.
Yeah, he can be. Now you know that they will have Calvin Ridley out there as well, so Now you got Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, Travis Etienne. You got Marvin Jones, Zay Jones. You got weapons around you next year. So it's gonna be a fun thing to watch next year. But as of this year, they're pretty much fried, you know. But they look good. I mean, he looks good. This offense is looking pretty decent. Um, let's go ahead and get into these Week 15 predictions.
Oh my God, this is gonna be horrible.
Yeah, this is a iffy week.
Last week was an iffy week. Only got 5 right. We're gonna do the recap for everybody. That'll be next week when Kari gets back. And 2, because I'm embarrassed because I know I only got 5. So I'm just trying to skip past that week.
Right. Dang, do we have Jakari's pick pulled up?
Let me see real quick.
Can you get him up?
Yeah, I can get him up.
Okay.
Hopefully. If this will connect, then yes. There we go.
You got it up? All right. So, Thursday Night Football kicking off Week 15. And we have the 49ers versus the Seahawks. It's a division game. Might be a tough one. Might just be a blowout. Have no idea. I'm gonna go with the.
Woo!
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the 49ers. Defense is hot right now. Brock Purdy is really accurate. I'm gonna take them for now.
I'm going to go with the 49ers. Jakari's got the 49ers as well. I really think we've overestimated how good the Seahawks are. They're 7-6 coming into this game. Maybe they're okay, but not great. They're just a lot better than everybody thought they would be at this point. But
that is true, because at the beginning of the season, I damn sure thought this is a poverty team. I wouldn't even think they would be at 7-6. So it is impressive to see what they have done this year. But to be honest, I don't know if they're going to be able to hold up against the 49ers. This is a division game. This is a game that they need right now to stay in that playoff 7th seed or whatever. So they could win it, but I think the 49ers are going to keep rolling on their hot streak, on the winning streak right now. And I think it keeps going against the Seahawks. Next game I got is the Colts and the Vikings.
it's so funny because I kind of feel like the Vikings are a fraud.
You know, I'm not far behind you on that statement, because the Vikings, I don't know, man. They in a weak division right now, and they just lost to the. You know what? Lions are pretty good to me, so I can't even blame that. But they've impressed me. But as far as like going into the playoffs, making it to a championship, I don't know about all that.
Mm-hmm.
So they might be a little fraudulent for sure. But I am gonna take them. They got the more talented team right now. Yeah, I'm going with the Vikings.
I guess that's all 3 of us going with the Vikings too. Chikari's got the Vikings. I'm definitely taking the Vikings.
Yeah. So that's the clean sweep for us. We all go Vikings. Next game we're gonna get into.
Oh, God.
Browns and Ravens. You already knew what it was coming. You already knew.
Yeah, I can hear it in your voice. You got a little too excited about that. You're just trying to rub it in. Rub it in. I'll say it. The Vikings might be on their 3rd string quarterback, depending on if Tyler Huntley actually clears protocol this week. I'm going with Cleveland. I'm going with the Browns, baby. Even though legitimately their 3rd string guy threw 5 passes, so they're willing to run it 50 times on somebody's throat. I think this will be the bounce back week. I think Deshaun Watson's going to have a really, really good game. Hoping.
Mm-hmm.
I think our defense will play slightly better. even though we don't have one starting linebacker left active on this team that started the year. JOK's out for the season.
Dang.
It's I think him being out for the season is a we're not going to make the playoffs. You got a slight injury. Let's go ahead and shut it down.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and give the. I'm gonna go with the Browns as well because
Wow.
this is a spot for the Ravens to lose. It feels like they're down to their second string quarterback. They just got a division win last week. Can they pull out another division win with their backup quarterback, possibly their third backup quarterback? They're all just fake Lamar Jacksons to me.
Yeah, they
Um,
are.
they don't really have. I don't know if they'll be able to stop y'all. Actually, I don't know. Their defense is pretty good, so maybe they can. But I think this is a good spot for Deshaun Watson. I think this is finally a game where he can prove himself, and he needs to prove himself during this division game. And I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna roll with y'all this week. You guys have been striking me every single week. I feel like every time I pick y'all, but you know what? I'm going with y'all again.
Okay, you need to pick somebody else because we need to get a dub in here. But yeah, actually, Kari's going with the Ravens.
Okay, cool. Finally, we have a disagreement with something. All right, cool. Um, oh, I do have a question for you. How do you
Yeah, go ahead.
feel about Cade York wanting to kick a 67-yard field goal before half?
I love that. I love that he wants like no, put it in my hands. I love a guy with a little something in him. We've only got about 3 dudes on the team with that, but I'm glad he's one of them. Okay. Yeah, I said it, and I'm gonna tell you something real controversial. Miles Garrett ain't got that in him.
Ooh, he's still a little young
Miles
though.
Miles Garrett is the most physically gifted defensive end in the history of defensive ends. Plus, he's the most technically sound guy I've ever seen. He's got like 5 pass rush moves. It's ridiculous. He's just so good. I don't think he understands how nobody else is good.
Right.
And he's real soft spoken. He's a very intellectual guy. He's just the greatest thing. If you build a human built to play defensive end, it's him. And I don't think he understands. He's got to just snatch other dudes up. Like, look, you need to fucking play.
Uh-huh. For sure. Um, I think it is. Yeah, some balls of him to want to kick a 67-yarder, but gotta give respect to that man. Hey, he wants the ball in his hands before halftime. You gotta love it. I would love to see my kicker want to do that too. Like, who doesn't want to see that from their kicker? Who, you know? So,
And and to be honest, I was at the Falcons game. He warms up just on the far side, like the other 45 from the logo. That's where he warms up. He can make the kick.
no one in history has made a 67-yard.
He can. Believe in him.
But maybe we'll get to find out some other time. Next game we got is the Dolphins versus the Bills. This is actually going to be a tougher game to pick from. I do have something though, because the Dolphins, they had heaters in LA when it was 55 degrees, and
Sorry. Go ahead.
now they're going into Buffalo this weekend, and it's going to be absolutely cold. I think this will be the first cold game for this Miami Dolphins team. It's gonna be, I don't know. The Bills definitely have the upper hand right now because they do play in the cold. Uh, but we did see Miami beat them earlier this year. Will they be able to pull it off again? I don't know. I honestly am gonna go with the Bills. But yeah,
I agree with you. I think it's not going to be close. I don't think Miami's ready to play in that. Isn't it supposed to snow in Buffalo too?
yeah, something like that. I think it is supposed to snow.
So yeah, no, there's no way. There's zero way they're gonna get close. The game's not gonna be close. It's gonna be ugly because it's gonna be in the snow.
Hmm.
But yeah, those Dolphins. No, 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 no. It's all Bills. I hate saying it, but it's all Bills.
My,
And Kari saying Dolphins.
oh, wow.
Hmm.
I can't even blame him for that one because this could go either way. But just thinking about the conditions this game is going to be in, I just feel like the Bills have the upper hand. That's why I will go with them. But I think it was funny to see earlier this morning. The the head coach of the Dolphins, what's his name? I forget.
Oh God. I know they always joke around. Oh, Shanahan
Not Shanahan. It's
from the
him.
49ers.
He's the head
Yeah.
coach of the Dolphins now, though.
Oh, head coach of the Dolphins. God, what's that dude's name? They keep calling him Boy Genius all the time. God, I can't think of the dude's name. Now
I
watch him in
forget his
front of a computer.
name. I forget his name, but he had a shirt on at practice today that said, "I wish it was cold." That is just hilarious.
No, you don't.
That is just hilarious to me.
Mike
But
McDaniels.
Mike McDaniels, he is a troll. He is just a troll. But let's go ahead and get into the next game. Also a division game. Seems like there's a lot of division games this weekend. We got the Falcons versus the Saints.
Ugh.
Desmond Ritter is making his first appearance or first start this year for the Falcons. But I will be rolling with the Saints.
Yeah, I realize the Falcons do have to see is Desmond Ritter the guy, or we're going back and get another guy in the draft. But I will be going with the Yanks. I mean the Saints as well.
What
And
we got with Jakari?
Carr's got the Saints as well. Look at him.
There you go. All Saints. Next we got Pittsburgh versus Carolina. Carolina with a pretty impressive win last week. Can they make it 2 games in a row?
Me, I'm saying 100% I'm going Carolina over Pittsburgh.
Cool.
It's they fully pulled Mitch from what I understand, and it's all Kenny. Let's try and get me a couple of pickets.
Now, see, I thought that Kenny Pickett would be out. So, because I know he got hurt last week. So, if Kenny Pickett is in, I don't know. I want to lean the Steelers if Kenny Pickett is in. But if Mitch Trubisky is playing this game, I don't know. I just hell no. I do want to give kudos to Panthers cornerback J.C. Horn. Been playing pretty good this year, and he looked really good against the Seahawks. So I would like to see him play good again. Panthers been in a little groove these past couple weeks. I'm gonna roll with the Steelers though. If Kenny's in, which he is the starter, I'm rolling with the Steelers.
And Jakari's going with the Steelers too. Hey man, y'all do what y'all got to do.
We'll see who comes out victorious. Next game we got is the 12-1 Eagles versus the 3-10 Bears. And this is pretty easy for me. I'm going Philly.
Yeah, it's gonna be a clean sweep with Philly because there's no way the Bears are gonna put up a fight against Philly at all.
Yeah. I know Justin Fields been looking pretty good this year, but it's no way in hell that he rallies them up to a win against this Philly team.
That defense.
Yeah, that defense is on fire right now. I seen a funny mic'd up video of Miles Sanders, the running back for the Eagles. He was mic'd up and he was blocking, he was run blocking, and he hits the linebacker or whatever, and gets to yelling like Bobby Boucher, like the water boy.
Bobby Boucher. It's gonna hit you. Oh my god,
He
that's
goes to the side.
hilarious.
He goes to the sideline, just hyping up his teammates like, "Yeah, I just Bobby Boucher him." And Adam Sandler actually tweeted at Miles Sanders like,
Nice.
and he was loving it. So that was hilarious to see. Next game we got is Kansas City versus Houston. I think this is another one that is probably going to be a clean sweep. Houston looked pretty decent against the Cowboys, but they still wasn't able to get it done. They just freaking stink, and I will be going Kansas City.
And you are correct. It's a clean sweep on the Chiefs, sir. And I think that's more Dallas will play down a competition,
Hmm.
and that's not a good sign though.
Not a good sign at all for Dallas fans. Um, Next game. Speaking of Dallas, we got Dallas versus the Jaguars.
Hmm. Well, you know who Jakari picked. Let's be honest. But I'm right there with him. I do. But hang on before I'm gonna make sure because I think I did pick Dallas. But yes, I have Dallas because I don't think Jacksonville's there yet. They're getting close. I don't think they will be able to beat a team like this. I think Dallas has to put on a statement game. They need to blow out Jacksonville. If they don't, there's a problem in Dallas, and Dallas will be a one and out team.
For sure. This is definitely Dallas got to bounce back, punch these guys in the face. Um, but you know what? I think teams do have some off games. We've seen it with Philly against Washington. They had an off game. Dallas, they have it more than usual sometimes, but it's been impressive to see when they blow teams out. They've done it multiple times this year, and that is very impressive to see. But yeah, I'm definitely going Dallas. You know, I'm pretty sure Carter going Dallas, so that's a clean sweep for us.
Yep.
Next game we got Detroit versus the New York Jets, baby. And Mike White is gonna lead us to a win. It's already been reported that he will play. He has no doubts that he's not playing. But Zach Wilson will be his backup just in case he plays bad or he gets hurt. Because Mike White right now does have a little bit of a rib injury. He was taking shots versus that Bills game. But he stood tall, and I was very impressed with Mike White over this weekend. Of course, you know who I'm rolling with. I'm rolling with the Jets every freaking week. I don't care who we play. Rolling with the dang Jets. I
Why are you like this?
I can give kudos to the Lions. You know, they've been playing really good, and I've been enjoying this Lions team. It's very entertainment. They got a Hard Knocks going on HBO or whatever it is. And they've been winning some games. Impressive win against the Vikings last week. They getting it rolling. They got Jameson Williams back in at receiver. He came off of his injury. He got a touchdown last week. DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams looking good back there in their backfield. But you know what? They haven't seen a defense like the Jets. And this week they're gonna get punched in the mouth, baby. Let's get it. Jets, 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 Jets.
Well, let's go ahead and start out with Jakari's pick, which is interesting that he decided to go with the ankle biting, the kneecap biter, the Detroit Lions. On the other hand, God, you guys have burned me every time. The only reason why I'm saying this, because Jets are playing at home. It's going to be some weather. Jets, Jets, Jets. Jets, Jets, Jets.
Indeed. Lions been playing good, but you know, let's not act like the Jets ain't a good team this year. All right. So let's
Mike,
go.
the fighting Mike Whites, you guys have not been bad at all. No.
All right. Our next game we got is Arizona versus Denver. Kyler Murray is out for the season, so That's something to think about. Russ had a pretty decent. No, he played good against Kansas City last week. But he's questionable. But I think he will be there to play. I'm gonna roll with Denver this week. Um, this is an ugly game. This is battle of the bums to me. You know, I don't know. I'm rolling with Russ this week. I don't know what's possessing me to do that, but give me Denver. Think their
Yeah,
defense
this
is gonna hold
yeah, this is 100% the battle for the fourth pick in the draft. Jakari's got the Cardinals,
it down. Okay.
and I will take washed up Russ.
Here we go.
Not much else to say about that game. That's going to be a horrible game to watch.
Yeah, I don't want to watch it. I definitely won't be tuned into that game. Next game we got is New England versus Las Vegas.
Oof. I'm going to say this. Las Vegas is. I don't know what to think about Las Vegas. One great game, one game where you wonder how they're an NFL team.
That
It,
is a fact.
I don't know what to say about them, but I will always side with the greatest coach of all time. Go in New England, go in New England, and funny enough, so is Jakari.
Mm, this this feels like a spot where I need to hate on the New England Patriots because I freaking hate them. I freaking hate them so much. Um,
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
I don't know why. They're in our division. They've got they beaten us these last 7 seasons, which is so bad. It's so sad. But I think I'm a side with the Patriots this week. I don't know what to think about the Raiders. A couple weeks they look really good. They look like they are in motion. They look like they have something going on. Then the next week they look like butt cracked. And I think this is another week they look like butt cracked. Um, Next game we have Tennessee versus the Chargers. Two
Well,
teams. Well, yeah, two teams I would have thought would have been playing a little bit better this season. Um, Chargers looked really good last week against Miami. Tennessee looked really bad against Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm gonna go ahead and roll with the Chargers. They got their man Mike Williams back. They got Keenan healthy. Austin Eckler out there doing his thing. Defense looked pretty decent last week, and I'm gonna go ahead and roll with the Chargers.
I'm going with the Chargers. Jakari's got the Chargers. That team is too talented to be as bad as they are.
Yeah, I think it's a coach problem at this point. To me. Um, Next game we got Cincinnati versus the Bucks.
This won't be close. This will not be close. Cincinnati's going to gut them. Also, Jakari's got the Bengals going too. It makes me sad saying Cincinnati's get it. This feels like Cincinnati is starting to make that late season push to the Super Bowl.
hmm Yeah. This Bengals team has kicked it in gear. They looking really good right now. I think they might be on like a 5 to 6 game winning streak right now. And we seen it last year where they was able to kick it in gear at the end of the season and they made them a Super Bowl appearance. Um, this team could really be scary because we know last year they ain't have no offensive line. Their offensive line isn't the best this year, but it's better than last year. So if they was able to do what they did last year, they might be able to do. They might be able to do it again. I'm rolling with Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's a clean sweep. And if you want to get, to be honest, they are better off offensive line wise. Oh, but Miles was cooking those boys. Why say all 22? It is frightening what he is doing, and they refuse to double team. I think it's a system thing whether you can't leave somebody in the chip, so they've got to go 4 on 5 every down. I don't know how that's going to work out if you have to play the Eagles.
2 sacks. 2 sacks Miles Garrett had in that game last week. And yeah, line could be better, but whatever. Clean sweep with Cincinnati. You know what, man?
Look at you. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Do it. Do it. Do it. I didn't get that win.
Yeah, let me. I'm gonna take Tampa Bay.
Okay.
I'm taking Tampa. There's no reason for me to do this. There's no statistics that's like, hey, Tampa's gonna win this game. But I don't know. Y'all take Cincinnati. I want to roll. I want to be the risk taker this week. Give me Tampa Bay. New York Giants versus Washington. Last time we seen these two play, they tied. Hopefully they don't do this shit again.
Can I vote for a tie?
I think you should get double points if you are right again.
Ooh, I might go for it. No. Me and Jakari both have the Washington football team commander, whatever they call themselves this week.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna roll with that too. Yeah, the Giants are looking like frauds. At the beginning of the year they was off to a hot start. Has slowed down, and I don't see it picking up this week against Washington. It's a division game; anything can happen. But rolling with the Commanders. Last game Monday night, we got L.A. Rams versus the Green Bay Packers. Everybody's hyping up Baker Mayfield from his fourth quarter win that he had against the sorry Raiders. I'm not putting no hype into Baker at all. I don't think he's good, but yeah, we got Baker versus Aaron Rodgers, and I'm rolling with the 2-time MVP.
Baker Mayfield?
No.
Much to no one's surprise, this will be the game that somehow the Cleveland Browns were at fault for ruining Baker Mayfield. He's going to get exposed. He's got to deal with the entire playbook. And he's not going to be able to win a shootout versus... Is Aaron starting?
Why wouldn't he be?
I did hear some rumbling. They might want to see what the young kids got. Since, they're not making the playoffs.
Right, so go ahead and start the young buck. That's what
But either way, I don't think the Rams have enough to beat a guy who's never played. So, give me Green Bay, and Jakari's got Green Bay as well.
So that is a clean sweep. We all go Green Bay. And that right there will wrap up our Week 15 predictions, and that would also wrap up another episode of In the Discussion. I want to thank you guys for all the support that we've gotten. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram. You can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. You can find us everywhere. Just look us up. In the Discussion.
Take care. Good night.